And we live again. Hey, y'all, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy, James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen this video, but that's okay. I'm going to live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hi. Like, share, subscribe. I hope Married to Medicine gets better.
Me too. But you guys, yes, please subscribe to Mrs. Best's channel. Any reviews or recaps I do not cover on my channel, it's because we cover on Mrs. Best's channel. Like tomorrow, we're going to have Love and Hip Hop Miami, which is sure to be just foolishness and mayhem and everything else. So, y'all, we got to talk about this BS, though. This is why we really here. Shout out to the Replay Gang. I didn't acknowledge you on the last video. I'm going to acknowledge you on this one. Replay Gang, hey, how y'all doing? Like, comment, and subscribe. Any new viewers, please subscribe to the channel. Like the video, especially if you like what you see. Shout out to my girl, Shani, who is always up in here first. Shout out to my girl, Keywan, who is also another content creator. Her information is in my description box. Please go ahead and subscribe to her channel. She also covers this amongst many other TV shows. She is hilarious. I love her channel, and we will be collabing soon. Shout out to DM Rocks, who's also here as well. So thank you so much for being here, DM Rocks. We appreciate you. Child, I have that scene memorized. I'm going to give y'all James's theater.
Wow. She just blocked Petty King on Instagram.
She sure did.
Posted the picture of Simone talking about a sandwich. Hate to see her coming.
Which is an old ass meme, by the way, Simone. That meme is old as hell.
It has been going around for years. So the fact that Simone is just now seeing it. Simone, Jackie and Heavenly are close. I'm sure Jackie could get you a discount. It don't hurt to fix it. Can you imagine her giving like fellatio to her partner with those chompers? I worry for Cecil.
She look like she don't give head.
She looked like she scrape you with her tooth.
I don't think she. I don't know. Well, anyways, y'all, that ain't why we here. We here to talk about. We here to talk about Married to Medicine. So the scene opens up with Toya and her lazy ass sitting out there sunbathing. Eugene come in the house. He looked tired as a motherfucker driving that 5 hours to come up in there. He's like, Toya. Toya left him a note with a glass of wine and was like, come on outside. Eugene said, Toya, I said, why you ain't in the bedroom? I'm sitting over here trying to get some and you over here outside. And so she goes, oh, that's all you ever want. He goes, yeah, I'm tired. Like, I didn't work all this time. I didn't sat up here and drove all this way and I can't get none. So they go in the house. And as they're talking about what's been going on, because, you know, Eugene is working a lot. So he's missing a lot of the events. And so she has said, well, what is that man saying? I'm drawing a blank. I almost called him Scott. That is not Scott. Mimi and... Damn, I forgot the man's name that quick. Shit. Mimi's event. We was gonna call it Mimi's event. So Steve, Mimi and Steve's event. She said Heavenly wasn't even there. Heavenly don't never miss nothing. And he goes, yeah, Heavenly wasn't there. She goes, no, but what I did hear about Heavenly is that Heavenly's running for office. And he goes, what in office? She goes, state representative. And he said, Heavenly? And she goes, yeah, she ain't getting my vote. And he goes, well, she can't do any worse than what's out there already. So, I mean, hey, she might have something there. And I agree. And that's how I want people to look at this. Like, she can't do no worse, but we'll get more into that later. So as they're talking about Heavenly, we go flash to Heavenly and we see Heavenly creating her website, showing Damon all the pictures. She still caught him. She said, Daddy, come on over here and look at my website. And so she goes, ain't you proud of me, Daddy? Look at what I did. He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm so happy for you. And I'm glad. I'm so proud of you, buddy. You do everything right. And you're going to sit up here and, you know, run for office. Look at you. She go, yeah, Daddy, I'm so excited. And so they go into the kitchen and leave me alone. So 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 they go to the kitchen. She said, Daddy, why you didn't tell me about Buddy getting arrested? I had to find out through social media. He goes, I handled it already. I already told you it's already handled and everything. And she said, yeah, but I have not talked to him in a couple of months. And so Heavy tells us that when she found out her son had got arrested, she had found out on social media, I guess around the same time that the story had gotten leaked. And so she said that when she confronted her son, she said that she probably didn't handle it the best way. She said, I'm sure there was cussing. I'm sure there was everything that you can imagine that I usually do. And she said, Daddy, can you tell him to come home to see his mama, please? He said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell him to come home. I'm just not going to do that. She go, but I miss him, Daddy. I miss him so much. And she get to hug it. And I'm just like, this should be a lesson to Black moms, like all bullshit aside. And, I know I'm joking and everything, but I'm saying like Black moms, like get the real truth and get the real story before you just go off on a tangent. Like I know nobody wants to hear their kid being in jail, but we need to start taking the Mary Cosby.
No, fuck that. Fuck that. This boy was just on our goddamn screens working in the dental practice, talking about, Mommy, let me do my job. What the fuck are you doing, young man? You have two of the most successful parents. You have the parents on the show that know what to do with their finances. One thing that really irritates me is kids that get everything that I wish I would have had as a kid, that I would have utilized to be far more successful far earlier in life. He had everything. And you want to go and do some bullshit when you pre-med? I'm with Heavenly. I hope she cussed that Negro out and read him for filth. Because why would you go and do that? Like, there's no excuse. He was in school. She said he was pre-med. So I'm like, both of her sons are doing well. Both of her sons are doing well, though. She said he was pre-med. So that's the thing. I'm like, why would you go and do this? And even so, your parents handed you like everything. Why are you breaking the law? So I don't see why Heavenly is acting. How you gonna say, I might have cussed him out and did all this extra stuff, and then in the same sentence say, I don't know why he's not talking to me. You probably hurt his feelings, Heavenly, but sometimes kids do need to hear that. There's nothing to break the law.
Okay, so he got charged for aggravated assault against a cop. So that's what he did, which is crazy because he could have lost his life in the political climate that we in. So yeah, that's what he did. It's aggravated assault against a police officer. That's what he did. So y'all, I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like we got to take a different approach at times. Because yes, he was going to medical school. He was pre-med. He did do what he's supposed to do. But I think he dropped out. I think that's the son who dropped out because Zachary is the one who wants to be the dentist. Yeah, so yeah. Yep. An adult man getting locked up for some dumb bullshit that he might have done. Yes, you deserve to get screamed on. Well,
I'm sorry, he's grown. Like, the thing that I more so would look at, because I understand, I feel like Heavenly might have said like some foul shit to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Like, I feel like most kids in Black households like have been cussed out or read for filth by our parents a time or two. But there's a difference. If Heavenly is as reckless with her kids when she speaks to them as she's been with some of the women in this group, then I can understand why the boy is not talking to her. But if you are married, why would you not tell your wife that your child was arrested? Why did she have to find out on social media? So I'm side-eyeing Damon because I'm like, it was a little too easy for you to keep that lie and keep that secret, sir. But I just don't understand how, as a young Black man who's handed everything, you go from pre-med to fighting with cops and attaining a criminal record. And I'm sure that he'll overcome it, and I'm sure that he'll likely be okay. But I'm just curious, like, Heavenly's not a main cast member, but it looks like she has a main cast member storyline, if y'all get what I'm trying to say. And I know people don't like her, but now she found out in 2025.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. She said she found out this year because she said that in an interview that she didn't know that he got arrested in 2022. So Damon kept that under wraps. So he knew to call Damon instead of calling Heavenly. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
tells you there's something going on in that household. And we can't even
Yep.
see it because you want to be a state representative.
Right. I know, right? But yeah, that's pretty much what happened there. So the next scene we have is Scott and Contessa. So Scott and Contessa go and look at the building that they just purchased that they are currently renovating. This moment that Contessa walked up in there, she said, I told that man that he said the toilet is going to be installed. It's still sitting there. And she goes, let's see what else ain't done. And so she looks over there and she looks at their whatever room isn't finished. And she goes, we're putting a lot of money into this and nothing is getting done. So in walks in this white lady who is the interior designer. And they're asking her, like, okay, the man said that a lot of stuff was supposed to be done that's not done. How much longer is this going to take? And she goes, about 2 months. And Contessa said, my concern is that the man's going to want more money. And Scott's like, no, he didn't go need no more money, Contessa. She goes, yeah, because we've already paid. Like, I'm over here working 2 jobs. You're working the 1 job. We've already cashed out our 401ks. We cashed out this. We liquidated all this. Like, Scott, like, what's going on? Like, we have patients. Like, Contessa's scared that because she's seeing her patients out of another practice that she's going to lose them, which is a valid concern because that's what pays the bills. So she said, this needs to get done. And I'm just looking at this white lady who got confusion all over her face. And I'm like, yeah, the job needs to get done. Like, why aren't you making phone calls? Why aren't you making sure this gets done? Y'all, I'm sorry. It was like, no, this is what I feel like happened. I feel like that lady wasn't prepared to have this conversation because it seems like she told Scott and Contessa what it was. And Scott and Contessa's coming on TV talking about something different. I think that's why the lady's confused.
Also lying to Toya and Eugene. You heard 2 months and you telling them 2 weeks. So I definitely get the feeling that Contessa and Scott were aware of a timeline, but because they on camera,
yep,
they got to show this. Whatever they can do to not talk about their marriage, they will do.
I'm just over them because, well, here's the thing. I'm not finna spend and liquidate my retirement because you have to understand that's money that you hope to get in return. And if this business does get successful, yes, they can have it. But at the same time, I wouldn't have done this. Like, I just wouldn't, like, not my own money. No.
They would have been better off being patient, continuing to see patients the way that they were seeing patients, saving their money, fixing their credit, paying off Buffy, and, getting the things that they need to get done. I feel like Scott and Contessa are making this choice a little bit because of the lawsuit and the lien with Buffy, and I also feel like they're doing it for the show. I do hope that they're able to succeed because I feel like they're both good doctors. But Contessa, why did you come back?
Well, for the obvious reasons, yeah.
But if I have a kid, I'm not touching my fucking 401k because God forbid I might need to withdraw from it to pay for my kids' college or to,
right.
Like,
somebody may need a car. Somebody may, her kids are driving now. So it's like,
now you've taken everything that you have to put into this. They have 3 kids. They're still going to have to pay for college for it. So I don't know. Contessa and Scott are strange, but
I feel like Keywan, to me, I feel like they did do this because they said liquidated everything. They said 401ks, investments, all kind of shit. I feel like
based on her wig in that photo, they liquidated everything they had.
I just wouldn't have made that big of a sacrifice. That's too much. Like, I get people do it all the time, but not for no building. And then who are the contractors y'all hired?
They seem irresponsible. And I mean, I get it. Sometimes you have to take risk in business to be successful. But this was like, if you're liquidating every asset that you have and cashing in your 401ks and all of that, then, I understand maybe utilizing half of it, but if you telling us you took all that you had, that's a big ass risk. When you got kids and Buffy got a lien on your house, that's a big risk. But I mean, I guess that's why they paid cash for the building. That kind of helps.
Yeah, it does help because they'll always have it, but at the same
That's probably
time,
where they fucking up, because they probably put all their cash into the building and had to go cheap when it came to contractors and builders and stuff. And that's probably why it's taking so long, because the cheaper you go, the longer it will take. They should have just hired a friend, because everybody knows somebody who know how to build. Find them person that you could give them like an oldie in the 40, a pack of cigarettes, and a meal, and he'll build every day for you. Find somebody like that. Then people will get it done right.
The Navy not giving them no more money? No, I feel like she still get a residual check. I do.
But it's not as much as people think.
Yeah, it's not. But yeah, I think she still get a veteran's check. Yeah. But yeah, so that was pretty much it. So the next scene, we see Toya pulling up to Brandy's spa, med spa. And we learned a little bit more about Brandy. Brandy, you know, she's the nurse practitioner that she says she get everybody, all your nips and tucks and Botox and everything. Brandy's your girl. Brandy got it all sewn up. Brandy's background, she was a nurse for Dr. Damon. So she was a nurse for him back in 2018, and she learned all of that. She said she ain't going to speak not ill will about Dr. Damon, which actually debunks a lot of things that the other cast members were saying. You know, I'm just saying about Dr. Damon. So Toya walks in and Dr. Simone comes. And as they're, you know, getting ready to prep, Toya gets a phone call from the housekeeper at her house saying that, you know, she went to go find the dog because, you know, the dog didn't come, you know, bark at the door to come in. And she said she found the dog and the dog had drowned in her pool. And Toya has had this dog since 2007. I said, God damn, that's a long ass time. And so she's breaking down crying. And so when Brandy walks back in the room, she goes, what's going on? And she tells her the story. And as soon as she tells the story and finishes, she goes, what can I get you? She said, you got any tequila? And I said, Toya, girl, see, this is why we can't take you nowhere. But I have a couple of questions. Me and Mrs. Best was talking about this earlier. Toya, why do you have a housekeeper? I'm just trying to understand this. Why do you have a housekeeper when Toya you literally
has been on television since the year I got married, and that was over 13 years ago. And she has moved more times than I can count on my fingers and toes. And finances have been a struggle on and off, which I don't judge them for. What I do judge is the fact that no matter what they go through, this bitch does not understand what it means to be a helpmate or a wife, because she don't help Eugene with shit. When it had the taxes, Quad had to bring her over the Easter basket full of the ramen noodles and the cheap items and things. People is trying to explain to her, you can't just be spending all this money. Now, number one, I don't, pets are like kids. My cat is like my child. It hurts to lose a pet, so I do feel for her to have that dog for that long. However, maybe if you clean your own house, bitch, the dog would have been all right. I'm just saying, because I don't rely on other people as it relates to my pet. I know that accidents happen with dogs, and it sounds like the dog was older anyway, so it is easier for dogs to drown when they're older and things like that. But Toya, you don't need a housekeeper. You just don't need a housekeeper. I want to see Toya create a brand of alcohol, since she loves to drink Patron on this show. I want to see her do more than just have a coupon code that don't work no more with a wine brand. Like, I really want to see her do more, because I feel like she complains and is messy and stirs the pot. But I've never seen someone like not utilize a platform as big as this one. Like, I just don't get
and got Eugene working
for 5 hours.
Right.
Home from work. You home alone all week, and you complaining because your man wants some coochie. Give that man the coochie. Drop it low and spread it wide. He been gone all week working his ass off like a damn slave so he could provide for you. And then I feel like she used this dog as like a storyline. Like, when people lose pets, like you looked at Dr. Mimi later on in the funeral, you could tell she was impacted as she talked about losing a pet. Like people be upset. It's really like losing a person close to you. Toya used it as an opportunity to spend money. So I just she make my
But
tears.
yeah, but we can go ahead and go to the funeral scene because that's the next scene. So the funeral scene happens, and everyone is showing up except for Qua. Qua wasn't there, but everyone was showing up with their puppies or dogs except Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie says she don't do dogs, and Brandy says she ain't never owned a dog, and you know. But Heavenly actually shows up to this event, and Toya was actually really surprised to see her since she missed Mimi's event. And you know, Heavenly was respectful. She didn't go off the edge at this funeral, but I said, Toya, why are you spending all this damn money? Like, for Eugene. Like, I know he
Just
got to do
talking crap about Heavenly, and she's still trying to support your dumbass.
right. But I'm just thinking, y'all, that funeral, y'all can't tell me Phaedra didn't do this funeral. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But
yeah. I think it's nice to have a send off for your pets. I just wouldn't have spent the money that Toya spent to send off a pet. But they say if you got it, spend it. The thing is, we know this couple doesn't got it because every season there's something. So, you know, I don't know. Me, I would have smoked a blunt and poured out a cup or two for my pet. And that might sound ignorant, but I say that to say you could do whatever you want for your pets.
he would have had a barbecue at the house, and we would have put his ashes on the fireplace and called it a day. We ain't got to do all of this.
Fireplace. Damn, I would have at least spread the ashes. I say when my cat passes, I want to spread his ashes on a field and free my
Nah, I'll leave the ashes. I mean, I'll just leave it right up there, put it in a nice urn, like make it look decorative,
but
and he'll always be.
more than $2,000. Like
I ain't even spending that.
Passing because, and I'm putting the $2,000 for the cremation, whatever little urn I gotta buy, and potentially the gas money is gonna take to get from Oakland to Fremont, where I would spread them. So you know what I'm saying? But I probably would not spend more than like a couple $100, honestly. Toya,
yeah, this
man is tired. I don't want to see you planning funerals. I want to see your hair tore up from you dropping it low and busting it wide for your hard-working man.
Anyway, y'all, we got to move on. Anyways, we gotta move on. So Dr. Jackie is having this event for the ladies. It's this sexy dance class. And we see the scene with Toya and Contessa driving on the way there. They don't know what Jackie has planned or whatever, but they talk about, the whole building, and Contessa, like Mrs. Best said, lied to Toya in this scene saying that, in about 2 weeks it's going to be finished, where the lady clearly said 2 months. And I believe the white lady, because that's the one who's pointing the fingers and making sure the shit ain't getting done. So I believe her when she said 2 months. So, Eugene, so what we learned about this is that Eugene wants to go back and open up his med spa that he was building, but his lease was up and he decided not to renew it because he could make the money working in the ER. So that's what he decided to do. Now, Toya said we want to reopen it back up, and they were going to, trust that Scott and Contessa can deliver as landlords, and that's what they're going to do. But boy, when they find out it's going to take a couple more months for that med spa to open, and then not to mention however long it takes for Toya and Eugene to renovate it to their liking and get that shit, that's going to take another couple of months on its own there. So it's like, Toya, you better off finding him someplace else and, catch them on the next.
Don't believe that we're meant to do business with all of our friends and family. Some people can make it work. Some people can't. Perfect example. There's no one else in my personal life I'd be willing to do YouTube with outside of James. And yes, they've asked. Some people you work well with, some people you don't. They get to be really careful with that. From the scene, it looked like Eugene didn't want to go to Contessa and Scott anyway, but it seemed like Toya just trying to look out for him and be like, babe, we could get a discount. But I wouldn't rely on anyone that has had the public financial issues that Contessa and Scott have had. But then I also don't expect Toya and Eugene to make good financial decisions. Oh, God.
Yep, that's how we all feel. So, yep.
Why would you lie, Contessa, also as a friend? The lie that you're telling Toya, she's going to go to her husband and sell him on 2 weeks when it could really be 2 months. That could actually cause contention in her marriage. Why are you lying? Like, that's bad business. That right there, people be a fool to do business with Contessa.
I'm just saying because that's what she doing. Friends that are on TV together should not go into business together. I agree because that's going to put a rift back in their friendship, especially when Toya watched back this episode and she said, "Not knowing that damn car." She told me 2 weeks. Is I'm trying to figure out. I don't remember the name of the medical building that they brought. I should have wrote it down. Is it up now? Now I need to know. Does anybody know if Scott and Contessa's building is now leasing?
Kevin Reynolds, you in Atlanta? Go look.
Yeah, going up to Chastain, going up there in Buckhead and see if it's open. You could drive past there.
Him after
yes, we sure do. I need you to drive by Scott. Drive by, go over to Chastain Park and go over there to Scott and Contessa's little building and see if it's there. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. So yes, go on over there. But anyways, y'all, we're gonna move it along. So we get to Dr. Jackie's Dill Dance party. And Jackie walks in with this big bouquet of arrangement. It was huge. I said, "Damn, Jackie, all that for a damn puppy." But okay. Now, I don't have a dog, so I don't know. I'm being insensitive. I know. But she goes, "Yeah, this is for Toya." And when the ladies all arrive in there, all the ladies, Quad get there, and Quad literally is ready. She got her ass out. She all happy, had this blonde wig on. I said, one thing about Quad, she gonna get us with a long ass wig and some booty pants that's just gonna show all her ass. It was like, okay.
Punch in the air, looking at Sweet T's teeth.
Heavenly walks up in there. She go, "Hey!" Everyone's like, "Oh, well, here she is." So Heavenly's back in the group, and she, come in there. We know Quad dressed her because I don't think Heavenly was picking that out at all.
The closer Heavenly and Quad get, the better Heavenly's clothes get. But also, we have to remember Heavenly's age. Quad, dress your friend for her age.
Right. So everyone gets to dance, and Angel shows up last, and she gets there late. And Quad's like, "Yeah, that's my friend," because she also wore something similar to what Quad had on. And she said, "That's my friend. We do this together and everything." And Angel said she's a great dancer. She had to rate her scale from 1 to 10. She's definitely a 10. Couldn't nobody keep up with that lady's dance moves. And so everyone does like a separate dance. And then when Contessa hit that split, I said, "Oh my God."
That was the most awkward, nasty looking split. There was nothing sexy about it. Mind you, Contessa is a beautiful
telling you, stunning.
But
yes.
That split was not it. Hot Pink, I agree with you. Quad's ass was nice. There was jiggle. It shook in the right ways. And if she was my friend, I'd be smacking it, rooting her on. Absolutely. But Contessa, don't do that no more. She jumped into the hole, and it looked like it hurt when she jumped into it.
It did. It looked like her knees was about to give out on her, so she just landed in that split.
To find a good stylist, and I want her to get some confidence because I don't think Contessa realizes her own beauty, and I think that's why she comes off sometimes as awkward or extra.
I agree.
Figure it out because she's a beautiful woman, and then she kills it with the awkwardness, and I don't understand why she does this.
Right. So after the dance, the ladies all disperse and they sit in a collective circle. And Dr. Jackie has some messy ass questions. The first question is, "I don't check my husband's phone when he goes to the bathroom or shower." And Toya raised her hand. She goes, I check his phone. I check any chance I get." And in her confessional, she says, "See, I come from a family of cheaters. Sorry, daddy. Sorry, mama." And I was like, "Not you outing your parents." And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Eugene don't give me somebody who would cheat on Toya.
I think Eugene is still googly goofy in love with Toya.
Yes.
I think they have the strongest marriage on this cast. Honestly, I give them shit about their finances, but I do think they have the strongest marriage. But
yeah, absolutely,
I don't blame her for checking that phone because he's away from her for 5 days out of the week, and then it take him 5 hours to get back. So I be checking the phone too. I'm not mad at you, Toya, but I don't think Eugene would cheat on her. I think if anything, she'd be the one cheating on him.
I was just gonna say that. I would give Toya that before I would give it to
But I don't
Eugene.
think she has.
I don't think she has either. But if I had to choose who's most likely to cheat,
her.
I'm definitely giving it to Toya versus Eugene. Yeah. I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry. I just feel like, one, let's keep the shit real. I'm sorry, but Toya is way out of Eugene's league. We not finna act like he not. So I'm sorry. Yes, like Mrs. Best said, he seemed like he very googly eyes and loved the prize that he has.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And you can tell he values marriage too.
Yes, that too.
About Eugene. Like, honestly, I tolerate Toya for Eugene. I love him.
Same. Yes. So at the same time that the ladies are Jackie asking these messy questions, the men meet up. And the men, I guess this was Cecil bringing them in together, but all the men get there and they're talking, and we're introduced to, what's his name? Shamar, some shit like that. That was Brandy's husband. And he's asking questions like, what happens in this situation? What happens if, my wife says something that she ain't got no business saying? And Eugene's like, no, you stand behind her. Even though you may not agree with it, you stand behind her and you agree with what she says, what she does. That's how you do it. And, the men have a mutual understanding. And he says, my wife is not going to say something that's untrue. And Curtis is looking over him side-eyeing. And I said, oh, Curtis, sit this one out. Curtis, sit this one out. I tried.
You are on camera.
Yes.
You are on camera pulling Toya onto your lap. And Toya, it was very calculated that you picked to pull. If it's Toya or Quad, I'm side-eyeing you because Quad got a great ass and Toya got a great ass. He knew what he was doing. And look at Jackie over there in that pantsuit. He knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. He absolutely knew.
Yep. I feel like for me, it was like, Curtis, I want you to sit this one out because at the same time, was she lying? Now, once again, y'all, I can also play back to Toya because Toya also did some fuck shit in season 6 too, where she had booped her ass in his face and then started laughing. So she was taunting him as well.
Toya
so
be on bullshit, but she doesn't tell lies. Usually when she's bringing the mess, she's actually bringing the mess in the way that it happened and reporting what actually happened. Mm-hmm. But she'd be on bullshit herself as well.
Right. Yeah.
But also Curtis, like, there'd be nothing to talk about if he behaved.
Exactly. That was my point. Like, I get it.
Curtis be doing in the Dominican Republic and on all the random trips that Curtis be taking. We don't know what he's doing, but it's very clear that he and Jackie either have some sort of an understanding or he's just not going to stop doing what he's doing.
Right, exactly.
And I don't think Curtis expected Eugene to say anything, but I'm glad Eugene did say something because it's like, that's your female. Don't be grabbing at my female. Don't touch
right. 100%. But nothing really. They have an understanding. There was some shade thrown back in the confessionals, but that was pretty much it. So then we go back to the ladies. So Jackie then asked this very messy question of, if Quad invites you to her party, does it matter the timeline of when she invited you, and would you still go to her party? And I said, Jackie, ooh-wee. And Simone pipes up and she goes, well, let's be real. Quad did not want me there because if she wanted me there, she would have invited me the same time she invited everybody else. And Quad looked at her. She goes, so that's how you feel, Simone? That's how you feel? And she goes, yeah, that's exactly what it is. She goes, wait a minute, don't point your fingers and everything all in my face now. And I said, Lord, here we go. And y'all know how I feel about Simone and Quad. Y'all know how I feel about this shit. Like, this is so...
They're annoying and it's the same beef. But Simone be talking to Quad out the side of her neck. You're not going to turn to me and be having your finger all in my face, Brazy. Get your fucking finger out my face, bitch. Because Simone be talking to people crazy and then expecting the utmost respect.
Yep.
And that's the part that's annoying. But at the same time, I wish Quad would just stop giving Simone energy. Just ignore her. Let her yell. Let her holler. Let her scream. Let her talk about you. Just ignore it. And when people come to you, like if I was Quad, I would shut the beat down and then let Simone move on to somebody else.
Right. Because I wouldn't even entertain this. And like, y'all been doing this for years.
About her marriage, because her and Cecil, I'm still surprised they lasted after getting back together.
Yeah. So they, as the conversation heats up, Quad, she got to go on her dramatics. Simone, You know I love you. And you know I would not do anything to hurt you. You know I love you, Simone. And I would do anything for you. And Simone said, Quad, I was angry at you because you know what you be doing. You know you be talking to me crazy. You know you do this. I don't know why you like to play with me, Quad, every time. And Jackie goes, you don't see, these are sisters. They love each other. They're going to be happy with each other. And they just needed to get through the hard part in order to get to the softness. Look at these women. And they sitting up there hugging. And I'm Toya. These ladies they 1 minute laughing with each other, women crying with each other. Like, oh my God. I feel like I'm watching the same stuff, the same rerun. It's old. Like, it's old. It was like, yeah.
Please get the beef and be done. Because if Quad and Simone are arguing at the reunion, at this point, we don't care because Quad stopped entertaining this lady. She's obviously just a hater. And Simone, I don't think Simone will ever be quiet or accountable. So it's really up to you, Quad, to just stop arguing with this lady. You can't teach old dog new tricks, and it's very hard to keep a muzzle on an old dog that like to nip and keep their mouth open. So I just want Quad to be the bigger person and please move on. Because I'm sick of this.
I am too. So now we're going to get to the nitty gritty. So Heavenly announces that she is running for state representative. And this is the first time she's announced it to all of the ladies. And she says, she points out Toya and she goes, you know, Toya, if you have anything or have any questions that you want to ask me, you know, you can go ahead and ask me. And Toya said, you know what? I just thought it was odd for you to be running for a state representative. Like, I just feel like it's odd because you can't even keep a good relationship with your girlfriends. And Heavenly said, Toya, do you know what a state representative does? Like, do you know what they do? Because I have to tell you, in my district, we have to understand that voices are not being heard, especially for people of color. So I'm running so that way I can be the voice of those people. And it gets heightened. Toya was all like, well, you ain't getting my vote. And Dr. Heavenly raises up and goes into Toya's face and said, look, Toya, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm running for state representative. Huh?
Toya don't know what she's talking about.
She don't. It is
funny. Everybody in politics, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, black, white, or anything else, they all got friends they done fallen out with. Relationships that's shady, is baby mama drama in the the White House. Let me tell y'all, politics and government is just ghetto like the rest of us. It's just a bunch of people who are trained in a certain area, but they have their lives. So because Heavenly got issues with girlfriends on TV, we don't hear nobody who in her regular life outside of the show complaining about her. So because she can't get along with y'all on the show, that means she can't run for state representative. That makes no sense. Like your husband said, Toya, with the representatives we have now, especially our president, at this point, a roach could do it. So it doesn't matter. Also, if I were Heavenly, I would just calmly say to Toya, and what are you doing? Because
exactly.
State representative with a mouth. Look at Congress Rep Jasmine. What she say to him? She called him a bad built big butch something. She been up there reading them colorless people for filth. That's what we need right now in office, as quiet as it kept.
I'm trying to tell you, that's what my point was.
But why are you so quick to tear down another black woman, Toya? Just because you're not doing shit but putting your man and your family in debt does not mean that you get to come for this lady. And ain't really said much about your spouse. It was Quad who called Eugene Eugina. And Mariah used to be throwing shade at Eugene, but as quiet as it's kept, he's a simp and he needs to stand up to you. And that's just the truth.
Yes. And like Shani said, Toya said, I don't give a fuck what a state representative does. It ain't you. And Dr. Heavenly says, and keep my son's name out your mouth. And she goes, oh, that's what we're really here to talk about. That's what you're really mad at. And since we're here, we was going to ask you how you doing. How does it feel? How is that, Heavenly?
Nobody's talked about Toya's kids either.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out. That's fucked up.
Not ever.
And here's the thing. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I don't care about this at this point. To me, I could separate Heavenly, the character on Married to Medicine, versus Heavenly, who's actually out there and who I have seen out there helping the people and doing things. Whenever, especially when 2020 happened, do y'all remember the episode opened up with Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly out there helping people get COVID tests and shit like that when that shit was going on? And you saw Scott with him.
Not filming. You hear of them doing things in the Atlanta metro area as it relates to dental and other products. And if you also pay attention to the cast, Dr. Eugene, trained under Dr. Damon, the nurse practitioner that we have here, she learned from Dr. Damon. All of these people, Dr. Damon even helped Dr. G, Quad's ex-husband, at some point by referring people to him. So he has been pivotal in not just his community and giving back with his wife, but also in training new African-American practitioners, nurses, clinicians, all of that. And Heavenly's done the same thing in the dental community. The bad comes from the show, yes, but I'm sorry, it's always somebody with the least amount of shit going for themselves or going on that has something to say about somebody else. What if her way of making up for all of her shit talking is to try and run for state representative to do something good?
Yes.
I don't know that. You haven't given her a shot, but I don't like when Black people come on a platform that they're supposedly so proud to show Black excellence on. You're tearing down another African-American person who actually cares to give a fuck about what's going on in the world enough to go and try and make a difference. It's like whether she loses or not, at least she attempted to do something that was positive. And Toya has done nothing but provide a 10% off coupon code, the tax, for a company. And she don't even have the coupon code no more. So it's like, why are you hating on her so bad? You're upset because Heavenly has spoken about your inability to support your fucking husband as a wife. You done been through all these financial woes. We ain't seen Toya pick up not one extra job. We ain't seen her do nothing. And Heavenly's not the best on the show. She's acted a fool, but Donald Trump was firing people on The Apprentice and he became president, so leave her alone. Hell, it ain't like she.
That's my point. So what makes, because people laugh at the shit Trump does when he's out there talking about people bullying, calling their looks and shit. People laugh at that shit. They think it's funny. Like, you should come to Phoenix and hear people say, I think what he does on social media is funny, but we mad at Heavenly for saying your mama.
Right.
Y'all, come on. It's like we need to stop as a people. We really do.
So much about politics, Toya. Speak on Trump getting rid of Martin Luther King Day and other African-American holidays, Black History Month as a whole, as getting certain things like getting into national parks for free or getting discounts and stuff like that. But you want to come for Heavenly. Bitch, get a job. It's always a bitch that has nothing going on that has the most to say about somebody doing the most. Heavenly's got multiple businesses. We learned of her real estate investments that she was doing with her kids. The government ain't after her, the IRS. She done actually shared her actual life, flaws and all. When Toya been bullshitting us about the debt that she's in, moving from house to house, neighborhood to neighborhood, all while her man is struggling, going 5 hours. You don't even care enough about your husband to do more, but you want something to say something about the next person. I don't like people like that.
I didn't like it either. Like, despite what Heavenly does do a lot. I'm not gonna discredit that. Heavenly does a lot on this show. She does. She has come after people with Toya. I can understand. Like, I understand Toya's gripe, but that's not what you get in an argument with her for. Her running for office. Like, you get into an argument with her because of this show and the bullshit y'all go through in the show. But if it's actually a real serious moment, that's not for you to say, well, you don't get my vote, or you don't feel like she's qualified to do the job. When at the end of the day, she has a platform, she has businesses, she has a vote. At the end of the day, she's qualified to do the job because she's running for it and found the backing to do so. So I'm sorry, and I don't see Toya up there doing it.
And Toya forgets a lot of the times Heavenly's come for you or spoken on you and your spouse is when your big mouth was running. Toya will have the most shit going on, but be running her mouth into everybody else's business. And the moment anybody brings up her business or reminds her of her situation, it's you talking about my family. You can't do that. Toya, please.
To me, as I said, the only people that realistically
housewives.
I'm saying, like, she, to me, and I know I'm in the minorities, I don't feel like Heavenly really has done anything to any of these ladies that really was that detrimental.
No.
I really don't. I don't feel like all she did was get on YouTube and
I
say
think the
what
only
happened.
person that has a right to be upset and was upset was Contessa
No.
because they had an actual friendship, technically. But even then, Contessa eventually had to move on. You can only beat the fucking nail for so long. So I feel like
To
with
me,
Toya, specifically for her to be having this energy it doesn't make sense because Heavenly for sure has not done anything crazy to Toya just off the strength of Damon's relationship with Eugene. So
yeah, I understand that part of it. Yeah, I do. I agree with that. But even with Contessa, I don't even see Contessa having a reason to be mad. I really don't.
she
With
doesn't because she aired her own business out there.
yes,
But
that's
I'm
why I'm
talking
like,
about after she asked Heavenly like to not do it and she kept going. But either way, Heavenly's not really done much to anybody on the cast and has not exposed anything about anyone on the cast that the tabloids or the cast themselves have
haven't
not
already
exposed.
exposed yet. Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they're just mad because for a long time there wasn't much to expose about Heavenly. And then Damon's so polite. So when they try to expose him out of spite for her, it doesn't come off right.
Right.
So I think Toya, her beef is probably that her shit's been called out. Now Heavenly's doing something she thinks she's going to hate on her and it's going to be received well. And for some ignorant minds, it might be received well. But honestly, that's a problem in the Black community. She's trying to do something bigger. Her running for state representative, in my opinion, is way bigger than any dumbass television beef.
It is like it really is. To me, Toya was giving Sheree when Sheree tried to clown Nene about her son stealing out of Walmart. That's what this was given. That I really felt like that's what this was given, and I felt like even with Sheree, I felt like that was fucked up. I feel like that's not something you put on her. The same way with Heavenly Son is grown. That's not something you put on Heavenly and want to know her business about is it true or something, because it's like, yes, I finally got something on her. I finally can use something that we've been waiting 10 seasons for.
Now, when Ashton and Avery turn 18, and
Yep.
God forbid any of them get into some shit, maybe not legal, but have a girl pissed off on the internet or anything, because kids will go through things. If anybody brings it up, Toya, we gonna come right back to this fucking moment.
Yep.
Because basically what Toya is saying is, I'd rather go tit for tat, even at the detriment of the children, by coming for Heavenly. Like, I'm sick of Toya. She needs something to do. That's why she's always every season at the center of drama, because she has the time.
Yeah. Now, yeah, I agree. Now, had Heavenly not been running for office, I would have been on Toya's side. But the fact that Heavenly is running for office, y'all, I have to look at this differently. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people like James, you going in on Toya. I have to look at this differently because we're talking about we need as many Black people in office as much as possible right now. Yeah. Like we really do. Like
government and has shown season after season that political situations, Heavenly has been a person to speak. She's been a part of it. I don't understand why Toya is doing this, but as Heavenly said at BravoCon, I don't think the bitch votes.
I mean, she probably don't, but at the same time, y'all, I want to be on Toya's side with this because I do understand what her point was, but at the same time, we need as many people in office. And I'm sorry, Heavenly fits the bill for me. She really does. When I think of what I want a political representative to have the mouth that Heavenly has to challenge the people.
Yes.
In a way, no matter how it comes across.
Toya, do not come for Heavenly this hard and have such concerns about a state representative now without coming for the ones that are representing Georgia now, because y'all state's been a fucking problem, as quiet as it's kept, with representation. So you coming for this lady, but you've been very quiet on your current representation. So it just shows that Toya is picking a personal beef and trying to take someone down versus actually looking into what could be appropriate or necessary for her state, her country, things like that. But I don't expect Toya to use critical.
I don't either, because to me, I felt like for me,
she threw a party for a Birkin, the cheapest model at that.
I just feel like I wish Toya is concerned. Like, I might not agree with your running for office, but how can we help get your word out there? Because we need, even though I may not agree with it, we need more people like you in there. Like we just do. Like, I wish she would have came out.
We may have our differences, but I wish you will. Like, you can still not fuck with somebody, but wish them well if their goal is bigger than your beef, which it is. But again, we don't expect Toya to utilize critical thinking. Eugene has gotten tired of trying to reason with this woman to where he just shakes his head. So she ain't gonna hear nobody.
She's not. And it's so sad, y'all. It's really, it's like, it's the worst. But that's pretty much the episode. I was really disappointed in this ending part. I really was, just because, y'all, things are going to get hard for us people of color, especially us Black folks. This was not the time, nor the energy, nor the space that we need for Bravo of all networks to sit up here and look at this ignorance on TV like this when someone is doing something as serious as running for state representative. So yeah, I'm sorry. I just was disappointed. I really was. I still champion Heavenly because I see who her opponents are. I hope that she definitely does pull through. But if not, I hope that she doesn't stop. I hope that she looks at that as motivation to continue to try to make a difference. That's all I'm going to say. Anything else you want to add, Mrs. Best? All right. So, y'all, that was it. Shout out to the replay gang. Thank you guys for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. I would love to know what you guys think about all of this. Thank you guys once again for being here. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.